I muted myself. We're just off to a great start today, guys. Let's see. Let me double check everything. We're all good.
Oh, Carol. Robbery at the wall.
Still don't. Oh, there it is. Now it is on YouTube.
Take
Oh,
that,
it's working.
Acuna. Third best right fielder in the NL.
We're doing this again, guys. See the shoulder shakes, boys.
I do more of a head, like, bobblehead thing.
I think we should all have our own movement. Welcome to another episode of Everyone Hates Us, the podcast dedicated to the art of winning and the beautiful sport of baseball. It's not so beautiful for one of us here today, but actually, it's not so beautiful for me. Either. Of course, the Dodgers, lost to the Mets yesterday, and Dan knows that there's no team I hate more than the New York Metropolitans.
I think our loyal viewers know that by now. And the recurring theme.
Apologies to Dan's dad, who's a Mets fan. But I think we should, guys. So I think we should all adopt like our own movement during the intro. And I'm gonna go ahead and claim the shoulder shimmy, like the kind of slow, awkward shoulder shimmy. I'm gonna claim that. So you guys come up with, like, I don't know, Murph, you did like the head movement, you know. I don't know, Dan.
I'm running out of body parts, but we'll figure it out.
You know, once you get your mic reattached, you can start using your hands. You know, you can do the jazz hands.
Oh yeah. Well, the stand should arrive on Thursday, is what I was told today. So we'll see.
Lovely.
Although I am enjoying my lounge singer act here.
Here he goes. Back by popular demand. All right, so we got actually an interesting bit of Discord. I'll be quirky. The Topes are moving to Albuquerque. I need to set the Discord. No, the Discord I'm talking about is between Collin Murphy, my gracious co-host. What am I doing? I'm Euno Lee, joined by co-hosts Collin Murphy and Dan Grievous. Two of my co-hosts are at war right now. There is a fantasy baseball matchup happening between the two of them. And let me take a look here, because I will pull it up. Okay. Let's take a look. Murph, you need to change your team name. It can't be Bizarro Murph, which is the team. Like,
as long as I'm in the playoff spot, that name is not changing. I told you, it's like I'm hoping for, the dead coach bounce, the dead team name drop. So the moment I'm in a rut, it's gone. But I haven't lost back-to-back games all year, so I'm not changing it.
Okay. Well, you haven't lost back-to-back games, but you've apparently lost alternating games. So it's 6-4. He's 6-4 up against and he does have a playoff spot against the Dan. Are you the 1 seed right now?
I'm the 1 seed right now. Yeah.
The 1 seed, Dan Grievous.
Welcome.
So this is a playoff preview, actually, between the 4 seed and the 1 seed.
The playoffs ended today.
Potential playoff preview. Yeah. And just to kind of give a quick rundown of the players on each team. So Dan's got I can always forget which one's the Contreras on the Brewers. William Contreras.
Just do W Contreras.
Yeah, that's the one. Or Will Contreras.
Yeah.
Will Contreras. Ketel Marte, J. Ram, Corey Seager, James Wood, Larry Butler, who came through, and of course his pitching is really impressive. He's got Max Fried, Joe Ryan, Jacob deGrom, Spencer Strider, who's already got up an earned run today. Sorry.
Yes, but that happened while we were. Yeah, Ketel Marte, my own player, hit a home run off of him, so it was a net positive.
I see. He couldn't just wait until a reliever came in, huh? And then Ranger Suarez, Robbie Ray, Drew Rasmussen, and then Murph, on the other hand, has got Hunter Goodman.
Anytime you can pick up a Rockies,
I have a better question. Why do you have Hunter Goodman?
Collin? He's actually one of the better catchers. I dropped Keibert Ruiz for him. Yeah, he's been good since he's been the
after yesterday's big day. He is 4th in the majors in OPS for catchers, I think. So fine. Like
his OPS is
he had 15 points.
777. Like what?
There aren't a lot of good hitting catchers.
Good God. So Hunter Goodman, Paul Goldschmidt, Gleyber Torres, who's having himself a year, Matt Chapman, Geraldo Perdomo, at one point the most productive shortstop in all of fantasy baseball. Corbin Barrels, PCA, MVP candidate, PCA. Jackson Merrill. Oh, that's a story. And then in the pitching is pretty nasty. He's got Tarek Skubal, Garrett Crochet, and then nasty is a good word here. Devin Williams, Josh Hader, Carlos Rodon, Chris Bassett, Merrill Kelly. Wow, that list drops off pretty fast. Anyway,
I think most people's drop off pretty quickly.
Mine doesn't. My team is great.
No, your whole team dropped off. You're 3-7.
I know, but like my team is Logan Gilbert, Cole Reagans, Hunter Green, Framber Valdez, Kodai Senga. Like that's a good team. As far as pitchers,
guys are injured right now, but
I know they're all dead. That's why I'm dead. Oh, you're injured. That's great. I didn't draft you really high or anything. Anyway, this is a matchup for the ages. It's got Collin versus Dan Grievitz, and it's pretty tight actually. 25-33.
But just to point out, it started 25-5 for Collin, and I've run off a 28-0 run right now.
Okay. But Collin's players haven't gone yet. It's literally Tuesday. It's Tuesday, guys.
It's very early on, but he did text the group chat when it was 25-5. So.
I did, yeah.
That is a little disrespectful. I agree.
Yeah.
Off the back of one Hunter Goodman yesterday, who had, I shit you not, 14 points. 14 of his 25 came from Hunter Goodman.
It was 15 at the time, actually, because he struck out in his final at bat of that game. When I texted the group, though, he was at 15 points.
Jesus.
And then Lawrence Butler matched him,
and then we've got Spencer Strider up against Collin's team right now. So that's interesting.
But that's huge because Carol Perdomo can do a lot of double damage here.
Yeah, that is definitely the productive part of the lineup for sure. Murph, you first. How are you feeling about your chances?
I feel pretty solid. Team's been playing well recently. The Diamondbacks bats are hot. I think we've seen that even during this losing streak. It's not really necessarily. I mean, some would say it's problematic that the team is one game over 500 when they score 6 or more runs. But I'd like to look at it the other way, where these bats are lively and we're scoring, baby.
That is so bad.
On the flip side, however, the Giants over the last 2 weeks are playing 500 baseball, and they were scoring 2-point runs per game. They are the anti-us, and it is so maddening.
Baseball is a fucked up sport, boys. So Dan, how are you feeling about your chances against Collin?
I feel good about my chances every week, so I'm feeling pretty good. I think I have a few 2-star pitchers. Batters are playing well. We'll see, but I'm feeling good.
So your team is definitely scary, and I had told so my wife Eunice has one of the better teams in the league. I think like top 3, and I told her that the 2 scary teams are her and Dan. Because Dan has, and she also does, positional primacy, and it's like the best in class at their position by usually a fairly wide berth. So you've got Ketel Marte, who's probably going to be a very productive second baseman, if not the best second baseman in baseball. And then you've got Jose Ramirez, who's another like candidate for best third baseman in baseball. You have Corey Seager, who's like routinely the most productive shortstop when he's healthy. So you have a lot of like positional primacy. And I told Eunice, who has Cal Raleigh, I mean, talk about positional primacy. Like literally he's like 60 points clear of second place.
Yeah, absolutely dominant this year.
He is right in the truck. The dump truck is rolling through. And Aaron Judge, who is, I guess, baseball primacy.
Yep.
And so you've got a lot of she's got a lot of advantaged positions. Freddie Freeman, who's also probably the preeminent first baseman this year. So I think that's the major thing that I was like, oh, you have the best player at multiple positions, and they are productive positions. And the gap between the best player and the second best player or the third best player is ultimately what determines who wins fantasy baseball. Like it's that's that you have to pick the best player at each position, or at least as close to as you can. So yeah, I noticed that. So I'm gonna make my pick here. I think Murph pulls it out in an upset.
Is it an upset? We're up right now, 35-34.
Shut the fuck up, Colin. Do you see his team? Do you see his team?
I'm just looking
Corey
at the
Seager is healthy.
I'm
Like,
just
that
looking
is
at
a problem.
I'm just looking at the scoreboard. It's 35-34 Bizarro Murph right now.
Bizarro Murph is going to need the D-backs to score like 40 runs on Spencer Strider like right now.
Well, we
You
just,
know,
scored, we just scored a second. So.
Yeah, you guys need to run it up because I think this is a pretty formidable team. This is not a team I want to play against. Everybody on here reads like they're playing really well this year. James Wood, Max Fried, like it's just like, what the hell? Like, this is not fair. And then you look at Eunice's team and it's like, it's all the guys who are like nuclear hot, like to start the year. So it's kind of
quite nice.
It's not great. But I will say the reason why I have Murph pulling out upset, just one name. I have just one name. Tarek Skubal. The best pitcher in motherfucking baseball. All right. Like, he is so good, guys. He is so good. Guys, is he AL Cy Young? Is it over?
I don't think anything's over in June, but I mean, are you playing taps on everyone else?
I shouldn't I? Like, who you have the other candidate on your team as well, Garrett Crochet.
Crochet's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on, you know. June, go on.
It's early.
Starting pitcher primacy, Tarek Skubal.
The only award I'm willing to call right now is the AL MVP. Right now, if you're betting on anyone that isn't Aaron Judge,
damn, Jose Ramirez already? Colin, that is bold.
No.
Wow.
If you're betting on anyone but Aaron Judge, you're literally gambling on Aaron Judge getting hurt. Like that race is over.
You know, I wouldn't put it past him.
Even then, he had to miss a lot of time. Like, he is...
Guys, he needs to miss time or my wife is going to win this league. Like, you guys better watch out. Like, he's scoring like a pitcher every day. Like, it is terrifying. Like, it's not good, guys. Yeah, I think it's locked up. I think the odds were like minus 7,000 or something hilarious. Like, it was like, no one's betting that money. I think it was actually, no, sorry. I think it was minus 750. For Aaron Judge to win.
That makes more sense because there's still a lot of time. Like, there's injuries, you know, there's stuff that can go on.
He's going to reach a typical AL MVP campaign in like a month. Like, he'll be there. He's like, oh, look at me, 35 home runs, 120 RBIs.
Nope, you were right the first time. Minus 5,000.
Jesus wept.
Damn.
That is scary.
Bobby Witt's in second, plus 3,000.
Bobby Witt is not a serious MVP candidate this year.
Your J Rams plus 8,000. Cal Rallies plus 3,500.
Cal should be kind of dark horsing right now.
The only other person listed is Corey Seager at plus 20,000.
Corey Seager's, I mean, he's gonna have to stay healthy for the rest of the season, which like Dan knows how that goes.
Well, he does occasionally when I finally liberated all my bobbleheads from my storage unit in LA, and amongst them, 2-time Silver Slugger Corey Seager.
Oh, you got the Silver Slugger one.
Yeah.
I had the wide stance batting stance one that was destroyed in the great Baller TV scandal of 2020. Dude, so NL is a little bit tighter, but provided Shohei does pitch this year, are we looking at just sew that one up too? We're like, who's in there? Who's in the NL mix?
I mean, Tatis, Carroll, PCA, Tucker.
Kyle Tucker, probably.
Lindor's always
okay.
Lindor, he's plus 1,500. That's better than anyone in the AL.
Kyle Tucker's plus 1,500.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. I would
Freddie
hammer
Freeman,
that if he comes back healthy.
Lindor.
I'd hammer that.
So here's everyone where I think that Vegas is giving decent odds to. Like, 20,000 is ridiculous. But like, Shohei's the favorite, but Tatis, Carroll, Tucker, PCA, Freeman, Lindor, and Schwarber. No one else is in the running.
That sounds about right. So, it's a pretty. Is the NL
about to get June Schwarber? That'll be.
Oh God. Yeah, where he's hitting a home run like every day.
Yep.
Even on days he has off. Like, I thought you had a travel day. No, 435. Right field. So We got geez. The NL Cy Young, I think, is the most intriguing of the races. Because I think NL MVP is like, it's kind of Shohei's to lose. Like he just has to like something has to happen to him, or he just like plays like total dog shit for like 2 months. Knock on wood. But I think as long as Shohei keeps up his current pace of play, which is also insane, he should be fine. And Judge, I think, is pretty much he's as good as clinched it. I think AL Cy Young, it's Tarek Schools to lose. Anytime you have a Maddox plus 13 Ks and 2 hits, pretty disgusting, guys. Like that's not.
Oh, I mean, I
don't think
like.
that's gonna
I think it's
happen
too early
again.
to call a Cy Young race because we're only 2 months into a 6-month season. But yeah, he is the best pitcher in baseball. Like I will agree with that. Like
It's his to lose. It's his to lose. He's in pole position. Let's just put it that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, he's ahead
I
of
will
the pack.
say, looking at all these, the only of the 4 major races that the favorite isn't, minus money is the NL Cy Young.
Yeah,
The leader is Paul Skeens plus 110.
Oh, leaders.
that is way too close to odds on for my liking for Paul Skeens. That is
Yeah.
close.
I mean, I'm actually surprised Vegas is so confident on all 4 races at this point.
Paul
People basing
Skeens
it
at plus
even
1.
money.
What the hell?
Yamamoto is plus 300, Wheeler plus 650. Everyone
Dang.
else is much further.
I would have said Wheeler's the like that's what I
Second
would've
place.
picked.
Yeah,
I think Yamamoto has like a 1-something ERA.
Yeah. Well,
it's up to like
Yeah,
238. Yeah,
239.
no 239. Sorry.
What I
No,
didn't
I
see
just pulled
listed
it
in
up.
here was Brandon Pfaadt, the NL wins leader. Do we not do it by wins anymore?
Yeah, so what they do is they look at the BABIP and it's like, hey, how come the BABIP against for Brandon Pfaadt is like 0? Like, are they just hitting balls into gloves? Like, what is going
Well,
on here?
The Nats certainly weren't.
The one time the balls missed the gloves, it's against the Washington Nationals. I hate this.
Regression to the mean in real time.
His
One
game
inning.
against us was a farce. I was just like, we are hitting lasers into gloves. Like, how are we not hitting holes through these gloves?
I did enjoy the one post that said Fat accomplished a yes hitter in that game.
Pretty much.
I mean, it was the impressive thing about it, or whatever, is there were no walks in the outing.
Shut up, Colin.
Attacking the strike zone.
Yeah, he's just hammering that strike zone.
Well, not just that, he did hit 2 people. But
Oh, that's true.
he's hitting guys and getting hit. Both ends of the coin.
Pick one. Well, anyway, I wish you guys the best fantasy matchup possible. I hope it comes down to a stack crush like mine and Merce did. Hilarious way to win, I gotta say. It's pretty funny. Like, it was like, I only found out because I checked my phone and I was like, hey, how come my tie is gone? And it's like, oh, I won. I'm like, wait, how did I win? I had to like look into it. I was like, what happened?
If only I benched Roki and just didn't start anyone. Dodger double agent screwed me over.
Hey, they came through for their boy. All right, that's what really happened. From coming through for your boy and not coming through for Colin. Colin, do you have anything to say about this D-back season? Like it's been where I'm hearing Fire Lavulo over from your subreddit. It's so loud that it's reaching me. Like, what is
I don't
going
know.
on over there?
I don't know how loud it is in the sub. Even like it's kind of more of a civil war at the moment. There's definitely a side of people who just nothing is really his fault. I'm not really sure what they think the manager does because of the pitching is the pitching coach's fault. The base running's the base running coach. Like the fielding is third base coach's fault too. So there's a lot of different people's faults for a lot of these things. But no, I mean, you got to think Lavello's going to get a chance to go through this. Lavello and Hazen, they both came from Boston together. Like these two, like have been attached at the hip. Yeah, I mean, obviously this has been a season from hell so far through, but we're undefeated in June. We're up 2-0 right now. And yeah, we'll just see where everything goes from here. But this has been colossally disappointing. And I just remember just talking to everyone. We were kind of like, we went 500 versus that really tough schedule we had when we played the Mets twice, Cubs, you guys, a bunch of winning teams. And then it's like, finally, okay, we get Rockies, Pirates, Nats, like with the Cardinals sprinkled in. And then the only series we won was the one versus the Rockies. And we lost the game in that series by giving up 14 runs to that pitiful offense. I think we had back-to-back weeks where we were the sole reason the worst ranked offense moved out of last place. The 14-run game moved the Rockies from 30th to 29th. And then we gave up 19 runs in back-to-back games to the Pirates to move them from 30th to 29th, passing the Rockies right back. So that was a pretty sad couple of weeks. And then obviously the pinnacle of it all was the Brandon Pfaadt start versus the Nats, where he didn't record an out. That is just an unbelievable. I mean, just even looking at the play-by-play, Abrams hit by pitch, Woods single, Lowe double, Garcia double, Bell hit by pitch, Hassel single, Ruiz double, Tena doubled. That's it. Yeah. So then we'll put McGuffin, and then we hit Abrams a second time in the inning. I don't know how many times the guy's been hit twice in the same inning by two different pitchers, but that has to be a very short list in MLB history. So just awful inning. I think I remembered my favorite comment I saw was someone just said, I think the difference between like our two teams is their first 9 batters all scored in the first inning, and our first 9 went down in order. Outside of that, we played them pretty even. So yeah, it was a tough one. But not as tough as what Spencer Strider's putting out here right now when he just threw a 3-0 meatball to Cattell to go yard for the second time today.
Again, net positive.
I don't know how you're doing it, DG. You're winning even when he's sucking. But Burns, it seems like they only put him on the 15-day, so vibes are a little bit better than it was from June 1st when we thought potentially UCL injury. And yeah, we're undefeated in June. That's what we're going to stick with. We're undefeated in June.
I think it's actually good for the vibes to have like a period where oh my God, our ace pitcher just went down. Our main problem is pitching and our best pitcher just died. Like, and then it's like, you know what, guys? What if we just win? And then they just start winning all the time. Like
yeah, but typically what like that mindset kind of comes when you're going like Ewing theory or whatever. You the pitching's bad, and so the bats decide to collectively come together and come alive. We have been scoring runs. Like that has not been the problem. I don't know how much louder these bats can get, even making up for like Burns being hurt. I don't know what more you can expect out of an offense. We didn't make the playoffs last year despite scoring the most runs and having the highest team OPS. We're top 5 by every metric offensively this year again. And again, I just don't know is there another level this offense can realistically hit? I just find that hard to believe. The other team still is employing professional baseball pitchers. I wouldn't say we necessarily are, but most teams in baseball are. And, it's just, I don't know. We're 1-3 when we score more than 10 runs in a game. Like how? How is that possible?
I mean, yeah, I said it in the group chat. I do appreciate that the D-backs are picking up the Rocky slack since the Rockies are so bad this year. They can't even have the shootout games they normally do. Yeah, maybe the pitchers seeing Burns go down will remember how to pitch. You never know. Baseball's weird. It could happen. Yeah. I don't know if it will, but yeah, I think they'll still be entertaining games because the offense is that good, as Spencer Strider is learning today the hard way.
I will say if your team's gonna be mid or like if the bats are loud, at least that's something. Right. I don't know if I could take being mid and like be watching. I mean, the Giants are in the playoffs, but if they continue what they're doing and stay like playing 500 ball for a bit, or even the Mariners of years past, like just being in these 2-1 games in the ninth all the time, just I think it's tough. It'd be one thing if you're watching just truly dominant pitching like a Randy Johnson, a Clayton Kershaw even or something. But when you're just kind of watching guys that are okay, sprinkling hits in there, going 5-6 innings and then go to the bullpen, it's a lot of stress and you're not watching a lot of like fireworks. At least our games are just weird. Like so many blown saves. We have the most blown saves in baseball. We have the most runs in the 8th inning, which just ties also in with the most blown saves because the amount of times that we're losing, come back in the 8th, they'll blow it in the 9th. It's just awful.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do make a good point. It does sound entertaining. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know better than anyone. Like I was gonna say, I don't know if it's as entertaining for a fan of the team, but I guess yeah, at least things are happening. Yeah, those Mariners teams are what came to mind as the opposite, like because they had pretty good pitchers.
Yeah, Kirby and those guys.
Yeah, Castillo and all those guys, but yeah, no offense. But now that Cal Rowley's taken the helm, it'll be yeah, it's a little more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking some of the wild games we've had this year already. For instance, we lost a game when Eugenio Suarez hit 4 home runs. We lost a game when we scored 10 runs in the 8th inning. We overcome an 8-3 deficit versus you guys to go up 11-8 just to blow it in the 9th and lose 14-11. I mean, just the amount of games that we've lost from just absurd positions. And that doesn't get into the fact that we erased a 6-run deficit versus the Cubs in the first series of the year, scoring 8 runs in the 8th to take the lead on them. We actually held on to win that one. So They're not all blowing the games, but we've had a lot of miraculous comebacks and just gut-wrenching chokes. But the team certainly does not lack for drama. I would probably say I think of any team, we played the most exciting games in baseball. Like if you were just to measure out excitement index, some people do that with like the win probability indicators, but I do think that undersells us a little bit just because a lot of our games ride at like 95-98% win probability before we either blow it or come all the way back. And so the excitement index looks like the game's washed, but anyone that knows this team knows that there's no such thing as a closed off game right now. Like
that one Dodgers game you mentioned in the group chat, we were like, when y'all went up 3 runs, like any other normal situation, you're sort of like, okay, well, we lost this game, but we were sort of like, let's wait and see. Let's see what this bullpen can do for us in the 9th, and lo and behold.
And that's what's really sad, honestly, is the fact that like you take a 3-run lead into the 9th after coming back from 5 down. You're kind of like, okay, this game is still in the balance.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's like the dark mirror of I don't know, like those Warriors teams when they were really good, like no lead was safe just because they could just shoot you out of the building in like a couple minutes. It's like a bullpen that makes the other team that yeah.
But honestly, I felt like we're on both ends of that because I do feel like we're at times we are the Warriors where we've pulled out so much shit in the 8th inning to like like even like we did versus you guys in that game where we came back from 8-3.
No, I mean that you said was the most runs in the 8th, but also most blown save. Like that's just so indicative. Like it's just chaos ball. Which, I mean, hey, like you said, at least it's entertaining.
Yeah, I mean it gives you a lot to talk about, and it's. I was with my friend for that game actually, the 11 when we were down 11-0 after 1 or after 2 innings. We were down 11-0 at some point. And we actually were in that game at the end. We scored 7 runs and we should have had corners 1 out in the 8th. But then we for some reason sent Pavin Smith. He got out by a mile.
Oh yeah, your other problem.
A base running, yeah. I don't know where we rank, but I think last I saw before that series, I think we had the 3rd most players out at home in the MLB this year. And then we had someone get thrown out at home in every single game of the series.
Huh.
Eugenio Suarez leads the majors. I think he's been thrown out 6 times at home.
That's wild.
It's 5 or 6. Why do we keep sending our slowest player?
Yeah, I feel like it's like something that should only happen a couple of times per season for a player. Like you should know, you should have a good gauge, but it seems that is a unique level of incompetence, like between the third base coach, definitely not Lavula, like you said, the sub. Yeah, it's not his.
It's not his fault. Yeah, it's the third base coach going rogue, sending him every time. Because I don't even blame Suarez. Because they replayed him on the Diamondbacks telecast. I haven't seen one example of him blowing through a stop sign. He's getting windmills on every single one of these, and he just is getting thrown out. And some of these aren't even close.
Maybe, yeah. That's strange. That's strange that he I saw that the Braves just hired Freddie Gonzalez, like the former manager, to be their third base coach because they were having similar problems, like of having some questionable sends. But I guess the Diamondbacks haven't reached that level yet.
We were so good at it before, and then Tony Perez Chica went to the Astros this offseason, which apparently was a massive like subtraction for us. And we've turned to one of the best base running teams to this.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's at least that's a good sign. Like that feels more correctable than pitchers pitching bad. Like if you tighten that up, you'll score even more runs, and then you'll have the chance to outscore your pitching staff even more. And yeah, that's a
I don't know, man, because just watching this staff, it's not like they like labor to get through it. Like they kind of struggle. They give up the go-ahead home run, and then they're nails and get them the next 3 outs. So I don't think the number actually really matters. They'll just struggle, give up the game, the go-ahead home run,
play down
and then be nails
again.
again.
Their competition, and yeah, the goal is close games. I see.
Yeah. I honestly think it's just a stress thing because it's mental. Because all of a sudden they come back after they've given up that leading home run, and all of a sudden then it's just okay, I already blew it, so no pressure now. Let's just go to town. So yeah, it's just been very, very frustrating to watch this team night in, night out.
It is entertaining to hear your struggle with them in the group chat. I'm sorry for you having to go through that, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a fun. Like you said, it's a fun team at the very least. Like the games are exciting.
Yeah.
The first couple times that it happened, like I'd look down and there's a bunch of texts, and I'm like, okay, like the bullpen, yeah, it can't be that bad. Like, and then it keeps happening, and it just really hammers it home.
I think Fangraphs has us like, so part of it also is I know we went actually up in the rankings, but we were I think 28th or 29th in WPA or Fangraphs WAR for the bullpen. But a lot of that goes that 11-0 game. We put in Ryan Nelson, who was supposed to start the next game, and he was nails for 6 innings. Didn't give up. I think he gave up like 2 hits the entire time and stuff. So I don't know. Like the actual pen is really, really bad, being buoyed by the fact that Ryan Nelson and Christian Mina keep coming in and like being okay in long relief. But those are starting pitchers. That's not our pen. Those are not our pen guys.
Yeah,
but
well,
yeah,
I do like the conclusion that the pen is only bad when they have a lead to blow, and then they're good, and it just keeps games close, and that's makes for entertaining baseball. Stressful baseball for some people, but yeah, entertaining for a third person observer.
I know our baseball at times, wherever, when they were saying during one of the games, it might have been the Rockies one, that 14-12 insane game, that the Diamondbacks inherited Pac-12 after dark energy, and that felt very right.
Yeah, that fits too. I still am lobbying for them somehow getting the Rockies curse transferred to them. But like the Coors Field like shootout games transferred south, but yeah, Pac-12 after dark, like the Pac-2 just doesn't. Although that one football game last year was quite entertaining, the one Pac-2 game.
Oh yeah, Beavers Cougs, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. We've got a new guest joining us. It's my son, Dahan. Day, can you say hi to Uncle Dan? Hey, hi, Uncle Dan.
Hi, Uncle Dan.
Hi.
You say hi. He can't hear you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the headphones on. Anyway, yeah, fatherhood is it's like tearing your Achilles and then tearing your ACL. You'll never be the same again. Anyway,
certainly one way to put it.
It's like Kobe after he tore his Achilles. He wasn't driving to the bucket, and you knew that. So, oh man. So I'm assuming Murph bemoaned the D-backs bullpen, which, yeah, it does have an interesting effect of like once the game is out of reach or they've successfully blown the game, like it's all good. It's just like everything settles down. They're like, oh, I can pitch now. Like
It's the weirdest thing because like it's not even like they just give up runs. There's people on base and they get out of the inning. No, it's always they give up runs, give up a back-breaking home run. Bases are cleared. 1, 2, 3 with 2 Ks. We're out of here.
Oh, like nothing like clear bases, boys. Am I right?
Like I was watching the Murray State Ole Miss game, like in the College World Series, and they almost blew a 12-3 lead. And they brought this pitcher in. He gives up this home run, like juices the bases, and then goes KK to hold the lead. And then the next inning or whatever, he gives up a base runner and then goes, K, fly out, K, where you kind of get the feelings like, he actually did it before they blew it, but there's traffic the entire time. Our pitchers just don't do that. It's like traffic, give up the home run. Okay, bases are clear. Now it's chill.
Oh,
now
traffic?
We're prime Randy Johnson.
Better score these guys. Yeah, so that, it's like the Kenley Balk, but on crack, it's like, oh, they can see my pitches. Take your base. But the next base is home. You heard me. Take the base. Like, oh, man. I mean, I think we should... let's bring it home real quick. Because I think this segment, which we call Bringing It Home, our final concluding segment, is actually the majority of the pod most days. So gratitude and rants, and we're going to do matchup we're looking forward to. Let's start with matchups. Okay, so we've got matchups to look forward to. I'll start because nobody cares about mine. Okay. What, dude? What, you want me to lie to y'all? We've got UFC 316, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley, the rematch. And oh man, what to say? There's not enough I can say about this matchup. But basically, it's two bantamweights. One guy's like 5'11", and the other one's like 5'2". And they both apparently weigh 135 pounds. I refuse to believe that. It's it's a matchup. Here's the thing. There's a Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena match that goes on before that. And I find that to be a more compelling matchup just because, so for those of you who don't know, and I'm assuming nobody knows, Merab Dvalishvili is like one of the most dominant wrestlers, 135 champions we've seen in quite some time. He's pretty nice. Sean is a tall, lanky striker who tends to do poorly against people who know how to wrestle. So Sean's fucked. This is over. But the fun part is we have Juliana Pena, the champion, versus Kayla Harrison. And Kayla Harrison is the challenger at a -750, which is pretty disrespectful to little Juliana here.
Was there a class forming, like someone go up a level, down level here, or?
So Kayla actually moved over from a different promotion, and she just kind of came back in. And so she's 18-1. Pena is 13-5, but she's the reigning champion. She in the sweatiest way possible, but like whatever. And so basically, Kayla is probably going to kill Juliana Pena, but like I do want to see it live. Like I want to see that happen. But that's the matchup I'm looking forward to. It's a woman who is very strong and hits really hard and knows how to grapple and do all the judo versus Juliana Pena. So it'll be a mismatch of fairly epic proportions, but crazy stuff happens in MMA. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'll throw matchup I'm looking forward to Dan.
Like every week, I've been trying to find the best pitching matchups I could find, but I don't know if this is deliberate or not, but it feels like every ace is like shifted by a day right now. I'm sure it'll even out and we'll start getting better matchups later on, but the best one I could find this week is literally Mackenzie Gore against Matthew Boyd tomorrow. Like neither are sexy names, but they're both pitching real well right now. Like they both got ERAs, low ERAs. Gore, I think, is leading the league in strikeouts per 9. should be an interesting game. Another fun one. Cole Reagans is finally back off the IL against their cross-state rival St. Louis Cardinals. Matthew Liberatore's pitching real well. That should be a good game. Dodgers Cardinals in general is always a fun one, even though it elicits some flashbacks from the early 2010s.
Matt Adams.
But yeah, that'll be a fun little series towards the end of the week. And then, of course, my WNBA matchup that I'm looking forward to this week is Mercury Lynx tonight, which, again, second straight week I highlight the Minnesota Lynx this week against the Phoenix Mercury, who, new look, Satu Sabali and Alyssa Thomas. They're looking pretty feisty. Should be a fun game. Matchup. That's the matchup. I'm thankful for how soccer went this weekend.
Those games were horrible. Also, we'll say Matthew Boyd, shout out, immaculate grid answer for us earlier today.
Yeah. That's literally why he came to my mind. I looked down at my notes and I was like, oh yeah, Matthew Boyd. Like, he. Well, yeah, soccer went well. I was very happy to, as a AC Milan fan, to see Inter go down in flames, 5-0, and then it was the perfect dessert the next day when Cruz Azul also won 5-0 in their final. Absolute demolition of the Vancouver Whitecaps. Very fun stuff. Also, last week I meant to, but failed to shout out the Arsenal ladies for winning the Women's Champions League. At least we won. Yeah, we won one big trophy this year. Thank you to them for upsetting Barcelona in the final. And the rant that I have is about the 1899 Cleveland Spiders, because the Colorado Rockies are making an assault on the worst team ever title. And right now they're actually ahead of the Spiders. Through 60 games, the Spiders were 12-48. The Rockies are 10-50. But the Spiders are just too dominant. The rest of the season, they went 8-86. So unfortunately, I think the Rockies will get more than 10 wins the rest of the year, and that record will remain safe. And that kind of sucks. I wish we could see the worst team ever. I have enjoyed. There we go. Look at Cemento. This is the closest I have.
I was hoping that's what you were asking him to do. Yes.
Cruz Azul. Not much of a rant, but I wish the Cleveland Spiders weren't so dominant at being terrible that the Rockies could have a better chance at breaking their record.
Feel you there. So yeah,
what kind of weak ass rant was that? What the hell?
Oh, it's okay. I got some.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Here Murph got time today. Go on, Murph.
I mean, I kind of brought this up already, but I've been watching a lot of the College World Series. So my matchups to watch are pretty much all from that. It's been a weird tournament so far. Two teams are hosting super regionals that didn't host their regional. That's very rare because it means you're outside the top 16. And the other team that this is your side of the bracket also, the seeded team didn't make it out. So you kind of need two pretty big upsets to occur. UCLA hosting a super regional, and they somehow lucked out in this one because the University of Texas lost to little brother, University of Texas San Antonio, one of the more hilarious upsets we saw this weekend. I mentioned Murray State getting out. They did close that game out versus Ole Miss, and they will travel to Durham to play Duke. Murray State, they had their first tournament win since 1979. They got 3 of them this weekend. Very impressive. They played Ole Miss 3 times. The dominant SEC team, they put 29 runs in those 3 games. The Bats were alive. But the main one here is, and I mentioned this last week, Oregon State, the 2-pack, still surviving. The Super Regional is in Corvallis. They'll take on Florida State. And this one actually matters MLB-wise because both teams have a player that the Nationals are considering to take number 1 overall. So for FSU, you're talking about Jamie Arnold, left-handed pitcher. He's been absolutely dominant so far this year. And meanwhile, for Oregon State, it's their shortstop, considered one of the best hitting prospects in college baseball. It's Ava Arquette. Arnold's rated slightly above Arquette by most metrics, but word is that the Nationals have been looking deeply into both teams. And one thing to note though here is FSU. The top of their rotation is 2 lefties. Oregon State absolutely tattooed lefties in their regional. Hit 10 home runs off of them in Corvallis. Oregon State, after dropping their first game, they just went on an absolute tear. I believe they outscored their opponents in the next 4 games by 50-6. This includes back-to-back wins over USC by a combined score of 23-1. So Oregon State absolutely came alive. The 2-pack, not to be forgotten. They avenged the team that ruined their conference. And now they're going, they get to host a best of 3 to go to Omaha in the College World Series. So really looking forward to that. Hope Oregon State can pull it out. It'd be very exciting. So yeah, I was surprised you guys weren't watching it on that. It was a very fun game. And what I'm grateful for was just the absolute butchering that the bias of the SEC in this tournament. They had 6 of the top 7 seeds, 13 teams total in. You'd expect that they would have hosted 6 super regionals. Instead, only 5 teams still remain. They're only hosting 4 supers. Alabama, after crying hard about not hosting, because they gave the final hosting spot to Southern Mississippi, Alabama went out in 2 games. Second straight year they have failed to win even a single game in the regional. And then I would like to say that in general, the SEC kind of went out kind of classlessly, for being honest. Georgia, they were pimping home runs and flipping bats into Oklahoma State's dugout and then got walked off by them. Oklahoma State didn't even advance from the regional because they were doing this in the losers bracket. So pretty bold at home to go pimping everything the way that they did. Didn't really pay off, but probably one of the better ones is the Florida coach. Basically, Eastern Carolina went to extras, and so the game didn't end until past midnight, and so they moved the start time of the next elimination game back an hour. And the Florida coach, apparently manager, went off on everyone, the stadium crew, the grounds crew, the assistant AD. In fact, even the players. There's the MLB player on his podcast, got one of the players from Eastern Carolina on the phone for a podcast and asked what was said, because there were a lot of rumors about what happened. And I will quote, here's what he said: "Fuck you, you can stick that whiteboard up your fucking ass." And I was like, holy hell, are you serious? I was so caught off guard. And then we looked at him like he was kind of crazy. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you, you motherfuckers, be ready to play today." And I turned to him, I was like, "Well, coach, we are ready to play, but I'm not even on the roster." So, and then he's like, "Good, you motherfuckers." So the player that they called for this was Parker Bird. If that name rings a bell a little bit, there was a really sweet story that happened earlier this year. Was basically 2 years ago, he lost his leg. And so he plays on a prosthetic, and he got a hit in a game. And I think he became the first player to hit with a prosthetic leg in NCAA Division I baseball. That's also partly why he's not on the roster here for the game. And the Florida coach would almost certainly have known that the guy with the prosthetic leg is the one he's going to shove a whiteboard up his ass. One unhinged lunatic. He then came out in his press conference the next day, said he did nothing wrong. And then the day after, the Florida AD made him apologize. So something happened there. He said that language is not becoming of me or whatever. Interesting job there, Florida. AD at least has head on right. But I did like the response from Coastal Carolina when they asked him about the whole thing. He's like, we're still playing. They're not. I don't really want to talk about it. So short and to the point. And then more on college baseball coaches going crazy. As you guys know, June 1st is the first day of Pride. And caught on a camera was the Wake Forest coach.
Oh, yeah.
Calling one of the Tennessee players a homophobic slur, which he had to apologize for. He said he apologized for his actions, although he doesn't remember the moment. So I wonder what he's apologizing for. But it's pretty clear what he said. And it doesn't seem like he's really even trying to deny it or that he would use those type of words. So I think we're just going to assume that that is true. Karma had him, and Wake Forest was eliminated by Tennessee. So also, as I'm going to continue just going through this, Texas losing to UTSA. Schloss is the head coach at Texas. For those who don't know, he was coaching at Texas A&M last year, and then I I think it was a couple hours after Texas A&M got eliminated, he took the job at Texas and kind of trashed A&M on his way out. So yes, there's a lot of love in Texas right now for San Antonio sending them home. And last but not least, I think it should be important to mention that of those like top teams that went out, it included Texas was the number two ranked team in the country. The number one ranked team in the country, Vanderbilt, also lost. And they lost before even making the regional final. This is like the number one overall team in the NCAA tournament, losing to a 16, potentially even worse. This is the first time in college baseball history the number one overall team didn't make the regional final. And the regional final is the round would be kind of like the round of 40, I think is probably the correct way to say it. So it's not even, you're not even at the round of 32 yet. So it's a really embarrassing time to go out, especially for the number one overall seed, especially because you're at home. So yeah, the SEC bias came crashing right down. College World Series was, I wouldn't say it was pretty uncouth. It was rough around the edges. The games were wild, but it was a lot of fun watching this weekend. Onto the rant. I'll start with something I should have brought up last week, actually, which was, you're aware of this. We went to the Diamondbacks Dodgers game, and my wife didn't come in with me. She was coming straight from work. So I told her as she was going there that, hey, I know you don't know where you're supposed to be going, but just ask one of the people in the big blue shirt, shirts, and they'll help you out. And this is where they sent her. We were field level. I don't know how they got it so wrong. Dodger Stadium, clean that shit up. That is horrible. Not even close. But I would say that the big one that kind of offended me was the Oregon-Cal State College World Series game. For those that aren't aware, there was a malicious conduct called in the 8th inning. Basically, guy tries to score on a tag-up play on a ball hits the left field. Ball bounces. Catcher misses the ball. And kind of a little bit of an awkward slide from the Oregon player, but he kind of puts his hands out to brace and tries to, falls over him. And they take the run off the board and eject him. I don't understand. The ump on the field after the review said there was no obstruction. NCAA comes out the next day and says, well, it would have been obstruction. But, the contact made it not obstruction. I still don't understand what they expect the Oregon player to do. The catcher is 3 yards up the line, does not have the ball, didn't catch the ball, and he's blocking the entire plate. So I don't really get what the expectation here is. It's baffling to me. And it seemed like college baseball has just gone the same way as college football. Basically, with the targeting malicious conduct is an ejection, and he was gone for the next day as Oregon went out in 2 games. So that was the end of his season on a play where it looked like, if anything, he was trying to brace and save contact. So feel really hard done. I feel like Oregon was really hard done on that one. Outside that, the only other thing I really have is that first inning, man. Just 12 straight guys hit before you get your first out. That was probably the toughest thing that I've ever watched. But you weren't here for most of that. I don't really want to recount the whole thing, but holy hell. Brandon Pfaadt regressed to the mean in real time in 8 batters. That is just pain.
The worst part is, so I was kind of stalking the D-back subreddit because I'm a sick person like that. After the blown lead in the 9th inning earlier last week. And I was like, I wonder how they feel. I wonder what they're like. And so they're like, this sucks. This is one of the worst losses of the year. And all of it was surely this has to end soon. And Tori Lavulo was like, I'm throwing I called my mama, and my mama said, throw the analytics out the window. And they're like, let's go, Tori. Yeah, that's right. And I believe that's the game where they gave up a jillion runs in the first inning. And I was like, this is a dark place now. DX sub is a dark place right now. It is rough. There is suffering. There is gnashing of teeth. It's a tough place to watch. So Murph, my condolences. Get well soon. Lucky break with Corbin Burns potentially missing only a little bit of time and not 2 years. So
we'll see. They're getting a second opinion. It's just the fact they put him on the IL 15 at all is kind of a good sign. You think that even if it was anything serious, he'd be on the IL 60 instantly, even if it's not necessarily going to be a UCL injury. So still kind of clinging to that because it has been like 2-3 days at this point, 3 days, and we're still at we don't know yet. So that's good. I think it's always worse when they know instantly.
Yeah, when it's like I heard a pop or I felt a pop, it's done. You know, but he did say like my elbow's gone. Like he was like my elbow's done. Like, and I was like, I'm sorry, come again? Like, yo, your team can't afford elbows done right now. Like, sir.
It seemed like he clarified later. It was just tightness that was building up, and then he just felt like he couldn't throw it, and so he. But yeah, it was there. He didn't mention a pop, didn't mention anything else. But yeah, apparently it was tightness, and it was just kind of misconstrued what he was saying. I mean, that last couple pitch I think he had, I mean, he was like well below his velocity that he'd been for most of the game.
Yeah.
As Corbin Barrels went out on Strider. I'm back in the lead.
That's what you need is more Corbin Carroll home runs off of Spencer Strider. Those are the double whammies that you need.
Yeah. Less Ketel Marte home runs and more Corbin Barrels.
Jesus, Strider's not really acquitting himself this year.
We're in another classic Diamondbacks game. It's 5-3 with only through 4 innings. So we're right back. We're right back. We're in our comfort zone.
Maybe the pen won't blow it this time. Let me do my gratitude and rants real quick because I didn't really get to that. I am really grateful that the Dodgers beat the Yankees, especially in the fashion that they did on Sunday. That was glorious. 18-2 is always fun. I'm really glad. I am great. I'm grateful for that win. Yeah. All right. You guys know who my rant is for. You guys probably know.
Actually,
Tanner Scott, get your ass over here. Oh my God. I swear to God, dude. Yo, if we're paying you $70 million, you know what you need to do? Turn the game off. Turn the game off, bro. That's your job. Game's over. All right, guys, come in. All right, cool. Slider, fastball. All right, we're going home. Guys, what the what? Tanner Scott, what? You have 2 pitches. If you're not locating, you have no pitches. Like, sir, just $70 million. We're paying him to not throw to Ohtani. Is that what we're doing?
I thought that's all you guys were doing. Yeah.
This is insane.
To make sure no other team would have him in September.
I almost would rather he was injured. So that I'd be like, oh, I don't know if Tanner Scott's good or not. No, we know he's bad right now. That's not good. It kills me. I would Blake Trinan and Kirby Yates, when Trinan went on the IL, I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. He was hurt. That's why he was kind of been a little wonky. Maybe the movement's not cutting as much. Okay, cool. All right, I got it. Evan Phillips hurt. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. All right, Kirby Yates hurt. All right. Kirby was pretty good to start the year. He probably chilled off because he was hurt. Anthony Banda, I don't know where you're hurting, bro, but you still suck. You're still trash. What is going on?
I want to rant against your rant right now because what I'm going to say is that Tanner Scott's ERA is better than 5 of our current relievers, and we've already DFA'd one who had a way worse one. His ERA is better than 3 of our starters.
Murph,
you guys are living a life of
more than all of your starters not named.
You guys are living a life of luxury, okay? With Tanner Scott.
He gets paid more than all your starters. I don't want to hear it. He gets paid more than every starter not named Corbin Burns or Zach Gallen.
No, okay. Eduardo Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, and J-Mo, but
yeah, he's not even playing for us.
Who cares?
I will say that Scott's expected ERA is a 1.2 runs below his actual ERA.
It's actually
he has had bad luck as well.
He's had some pretty bad luck, but also he hasn't had a clean frame.
Yeah,
all year. Even his saves, it's he gives up a warning track shot that hits the wall or something, and I'm just oh my God, bro!
We would be in the playoffs if we had Tanner Scott instead of our bullpen. I want to rant against your rant.
He only gives, in fairness, he only gives up 2-3 runs. At worst.
Yeah,
right.
We blow 5-run leads regularly,
which is I know, but good God, dude, this is terrible. I'm tired of this, and it's the dog days. This is when you're supposed to reward your true fans. We're actually here watching the games, going to the games. I'm about to go next week. again. Okay, like guys, I feel like I'm going like every other week to the stadium. If I'm gonna pay for these darn tickets, like put a product out there that I'm willing to pay for. You know, like the offense is fine. It's fun to watch the offense, but good God, this bullpen is rough. All right, it is rough. Like I see Luis Garcia come in, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Like that's not how we designed this thing, guys. It shouldn't be. Oh, thank God, Luis Garcia. Oh, he's here. Okay, maybe we can settle down a little bit. Oh, Ben Kasparius. Oh, let's go. We're trying to win. Jack Dreyer, get your ass in here, big guy. Like these are not the names I thought I'd be calling out. All right, like who? What? Okay, that ends my rant. Tanner Scott, you're killing me, dog.
Yeah, that's not been ideal for sure.
Yeah, it'll get better. I know it'll get better because it has to regress back. But like, sweet.
I did notice
rate.
that he is so he's like a 1.2 runs below his expected ERA, but last year his ERA was like 1.2 runs better than his expected ERA. Like he just likes to outperform or underperform by massive margins.
I don't want you playing jump rope with your xERA. Okay, like
I think it's just relievers in general though. Like
yeah, because it's one bad outing and it gets super noisy. Like that's
yeah.
But no, Tanner has been consistently bad outings. Like just
he's not been what we wanted. For $70 million.
For $70 million, Murph. That would make him like the third highest paid player on your team. You know, like fourth.
Yeah, you know what's called. You guys are getting what you want to have him. No one else can have him.
That is true.
Honestly, that's probably what we paid for. Yeah, that's probably what we paid for.
You guys didn't want anyone else to have the Ohtani stopper, and this is what you guys paid for it.
How is he the Ohtani stopper? The motherfucker has 2 pitches. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know either. What
last year?
He killed us.
Like, yeah, like you can't argue that.
Oh my gosh. Dave, who's your favorite baseball player? Say it one more time.
Come on. Do you say Ketel Marte?
Sasaki.
Your favorite player is Roki Sasaki?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a weird choice.
Yeah.
Do you only watch the 2023 WBC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm impressed he remembers the 2023 WBC.
He was barely alive.
Yeah,
Like he was a year old when that was going on. Yeah.
It was a memorable one. That was a good one.
Truly memorable. Roki was indeed nails that run. Guys, it's always a pleasure. I'm Euno Lee, joined today by my son, Dahan Sebastian Lee. We're going to use the government name because he ruined my podcast today. And Colin Murphy, Daniel Grievitz. This has been another edition of Everyone Hates Us. I don't have a Go Dodgers today. I have a D-backs. Get well soon.
Please, Penn,
this shit hard to
don't blow
watch.
this. Don't blow this. We have the lead. Do not blow this.
It'd be nice if they took the loss away from Spencer Strider. I wouldn't like
I feel very like honestly when we're in these games, I always expect us to lose it, and then it's just like, can we score enough late to overcome the inevitable? Because like there's gonna be one blow pen for sure. Like there could be 2 sometimes, but like we're gonna blow it at least once. I feel it's just, can we score enough in the 8th or 9th to make up for that? Like I don't know.
That's me too. During the Inca game on Sunday, I was like, "Oh, we need all 18 of these." You know, like I was like, "We're gonna need all 18 of these." We put Tanner in. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Tanner Scott would be a godsend to this pen.
You can take him. You can have him, bro. I'll trade you for a bag of chips, and you take on his salary.
Literally would be an upgrade. Our team would be better.
Oh god, Tanner Scott's killing me. I swear to God. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully, my son will stay asleep next week. Right, Day? Okay.
No.
the 4th host.
Yeah.
He's peeing all over my leg.
That's a podcast first.
Yeah.